Welcome back, Dave. We're talking to Dave Robinson. He's the candidate for Salt Lake County Mayor. There's a lot of elections this year, and the Salt Lake County Mayor race is extremely important because it's the second largest elected office in the state. So I'm really happy to have you here, Dave, and answer questions.
Glad to be back. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, you're welcome. The county has an awfully big budget. I see it when I get my property tax returns.
Sure.
So let's talk about the county budget and the spending with the county.
Okay. You're correct. The Salt Lake County is a really big part of the state of Utah. It has the second largest budget in the state of Utah, and the county is the taxing entity. There are some real concerns with the county budget and spending and how it affects our property taxes. For the past two administrations, the past two Democratic administrations, we have seen a 42% increase in the county budget, and that is with a 16% population growth.
Wow.
With this current mayor, we have seen, so just in a little less than 4 years, we have seen an increase of his personal staff by 33%.
33%.
Right,
Wow.
and so when someone touts that they are a fiscal conservative by increasing their personal budget by 33%, that certainly does not qualify. We also have the Ben McAdams tax increase of 2015, and what that was is a bond that was to retire. And 20 years ago, they went before the public and said, we have a brick and mortar building that we need to build, and we want to bond for that. And at the end of the 20 years, we will retire it. The building will be paid for, and we will retire that bond. Well, as it came to time to retire that bond, Ben McAdams said, I don't want to terminate those funds. I want to be able to spend them in another area. And so what happened is a lot of those monies went into the general fund. It is something that it is considered a tax increase. It had to go through the truth in taxation process, but it did not go before the people for a vote. And some people can say, oh, well, how much money was it? Was it enough to make a difference on anything? Well, it is enough to where over the next 10 years, it's close to $100 million. Over the next 20 years, it's close to $200 million. And what is different with this and a bond, there is now no expiration date for this amount of money. So it will continue. And so there are some real concerns with the taxes, the county budget, and we really need to rein in the spending. And when we go before the public and before the taxpayer and ask for a bond, we certainly need to keep our word and retire that bond and not push it into the general fund and spend it elsewhere as a tax increase.
It's interesting that you say it might not be very much. I think we're just so used to hearing these big amounts.
Now, I didn't say it wasn't very much. Some people.
Of course you do, but some people, because we're used to hearing, oh, let's go spend $200 million on a new toilet lid or something like that.
Well, what was really interesting about this is this issue came up in a meeting that I was in within the past week, and Ben McAdams' supporter came up afterward and said, I don't really view that as a tax increase. And I said, it is a tax increase because that bond was to be retired, and that would have actually decreased our tax liability. But that has continued and will continue. And so one of the first things that I will do is look to roll that tax increase back.
Well, that's great to know about that.
Yeah.